Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I finally get to test Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. Although this is a special edition, but I think it shares the same vibe as the Hot Rod Deluxe. So I was recording this video thinking I was playing through a Hot Rod Deluxe because my friend told me so, and it turns out it is a Blues Deluxe. So never mind in the video when I say this Hot Rod Deluxe, this or that, because it is not a Hot Rod Deluxe, it is actually a Blues Deluxe. Enjoy the episode. This is probably one of the best sellers, one of Fender's best sellers today, because it's very versatile. It's all over stages all over the world, and it sounds really good. There's a reason. So first thing I'd like to test if it has the basement circuit or the blackface circuit. What is that? In the basement circuit, if you cut off all the EQ, you still have a tone, usually a mid-range, low mid-range tone. On the blackface amps like the Bandmaster or the Twin Reverb or Deluxe Reverb, if you cut all the EQ, you have no tone. So the EQ works as a gain stage. Okay, so as I suspected, it is like a basement. This is the basic tone of the amp. This is the basic character of the amp. So it is a round amp, really good sounding. We just need a little brightness. Let's hear what each EQ knob does. So treble. Great, it's not super high. Bass. It's a little more of the basic tone of the amp, and mid-range. Mid-range is high mid-range. Let's hear the difference between mid-range and treble. There's a difference, although they are close together. So I think with just a little mid-range, we can get by with a good tone. Let's crank it a little bit more. A little bit of bass. Great. And the bass in every amp, actually in every amp, but especially when you have the amp compressing, the bass is your compressor knob, by a way of saying it, because bass needs a lot of energy and eats a lot of energy. So the more bass you put into the amp, the more it will compress, the less headroom it will have, and the less it will stick out in the mix. So usually when I play live, I don't play with a lot of bass. I leave the bass for the bass player. But when you're playing alone by yourself, you lack that bass tone because you have no bass player playing with you. But I think I would probably use the amp as it is, a little cranked. A little more mid-range. probably just a little more treble, or even a little more mid-range. I would be happy with this setting, and this is the reason why the amp is so used all over. Although, as I said, this has a Celestion G1265, which is a special edition, but it has the same character as almost every other Hot Rod Deluxe I played in, which is really good basic tone, really normal tone. It's nothing like my Supros or like this Marshall Master Lead, or like the Bandmaster. It's a basic tone. It's not a special tone. It's a basic tone, not like the Super Reverb. So it's just a good basic clean tone, and it works really well with pedals. So, for example, here's the clean. With a little bit of Prince of Tone. It works. It really, really works. If I throw the Beatronics Octahive, the Octafuzz, sounds killer, killer, killer. I wouldn't even have to demo anything else on the amp. To me, it's just great as it is. But let's continue. So if I crank the drive a little bit more, the volume, we're getting into overdrive territory immediately, just with the volume. So we're cranking the power amp. And if I turn the bass up, so I still have only mid-range and treble. I have no bass, and there's no problem on having no bass. I learned that with my Lone Star, because it has so much bass, the sound doesn't come off. So if I add more bass, hear what happens to the compression and to the overdrive. It fuzzes out. It's exactly what happens with the bassman, and usually with my bassman, I play only with mid-range, all the way up, and then I blend the bright and the normal channel. This also has a bright switch, which for the Strat, it's not that great of a thing. Bright on. But with this compression, it's incredible with this kind of, with the amp driving. But let's hear it a little cleaner. gives you that spanky Robert Cray kind of tone. Even the Mark Knopfler Sultans of Swing. And with a little drive, it probably will go to the Albert Collins. This is why this amp is so universal, because it sounds really good, really easy to make it sound good. The problem with this amps usually is the drive channel, because it has a drive channel. This overdrive channel sounds really good, although you will struggle to have a good clean tone and a good drive tone, because the EQ is shared. So let's, with the same EQ that we have on the, and I already removed the bright, so with the same EQ that we have for the clean tone, let's turn on the drive. So I had to tweak a little bit of the EQ, so give it a little more bass, take a little off treble. Now let's hear it. So the drive one. Now let's hear it, the clean. We lose that brilliant, clean articulation. But it's manageable. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. And for example, if we have the drive one, so we have the amp with a little overdrive. It's just in the perfect zone for the Prince of Tone to kick in, or for a tube screamer, for a clean boost to drive it a little more like the exotic EP booster, or for example the micro amp, whatever. So here's the drive of the amp, kicking in the Prince of Tone. It drives it a little more, although I have the Prince of Tone set to a little more overdriven to work better with a clean tone, but it works great. Let's turn the Octahive, the Octafuzz Beatronics Octahive. just for comparison, let's compare the Beatronics going into the drive channel and the Beatronics going into the clean channel. So Beatronics Octahive into the drive channel. Into the clean channel. So not that much of a difference, which means that it takes pedals really well. For example, in the Twin Reverb, my Fender Twin Reverb, the Beatronics will kill your ears. It will be so bright that it will be unbearable to use. So this is really a great workhorse amp, and I think let's hear the maximum of reverb that it has. So the reverb is killer on this amp, killer. This is a feature that this Deluxe Hot Rod has better than the regular ones. I think this reverb is a lot more natural and a lot more musical than usually it is on the other ones. But I would have to choose if I would play with the drive channel or with a clean channel. And that being said, I would definitely use the clean channel, because the bass is too much on the clean channel to make it cut. But if I don't use the bass on the drive channel, it is too trebly, too harsh. That's probably that would be probably a problem. Well, that's it. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you have liked the show. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's a simple way of saying, I like what you're doing. Please continue to do more of these videos. So just click the subscribe button. If you want, click the bell so you can have notifications for new videos. And we'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.